Shipbuilding is a very big business and has proven to play an important role for a nation's economic development. One of the countries vying to become a global shipbuilding hub is Vietnam. The country has built several big shipbuilding companies, one of which is Vietnam Shipbuilding Industry Corporation, SBIC, which was the restructured company of Vinishin, which started as a small firm then rose to become the nation's leading shipbuilding company. In total, there are about 60 shipbuilding and repairing enterprises. Further, Vietnam has also attracted a tremendous number of foreign investments within the shipbuilding industry, further bolstering Vietnam's stance as a potential shipbuilding hub. To understand whether Vietnam actually has a chance to become a global shipbuilding hub, one that is renowned throughout the world, we need to inspect what are the businesses it's currently deployed, such as SBIC, what are the governments doing, and what foreign investments are coming in. Before we begin, it is first crucial to understand why shipbuilding is important for the Vietnamese economy. Shipbuilding is a highly attractive industry for developing nations because it generates substantial foreign currency, with most transactions conducted in USD. This sector offers significant economic benefits by driving industrial growth, creating jobs, and boosting exports. Historically, countries like Japan and South Korea have demonstrated the transformative power of shipbuilding. In the 1950s and 1960s, Japan leveraged shipbuilding to reconstruct its industrial base, while South Korea made shipbuilding a strategic industry in the 1970s to fuel its economic expansion. China has similarly followed this path. They leveraged the industry to their advantage and recently became the world's largest shipbuilder, finally surpassing South Korea. Vietnam's economic success in recent decades was a trend similar to that of the East Asian Miracle. A rapid industrialization bolstered with strong foreign support, the Vietnamese economy was crowned as the next Asian tiger. Shipbuilding is important to Vietnam. The nation still has a competitive labor rate and a coastline of over 3,200 kilometers. They have every opportunity to become a global shipbuilding nation. If they do become a global hub, just like the three East Asian miracles, then Vietnam will follow as the next big economy. But there is much more that needs to be done before Vietnam gets there. There are still some challenges. Some of Vietnam's shipyards were embroiled in mismanagement, debt-fueled growth, and at times, downright corruption. But before we get there, let's talk about the industry's history. Vietnam's shipbuilding industry was non-existent like every other. It began as a small-scale boat construction industry. The Vietnamese shipbuilding industry experienced rapid growth in the late 1990s, with annual production value increases exceeding 30%. Revenues surged in the early 2000s, growing by 93% in 2002 as compared to 2001, and exports doubled to $51.5 million. This growth was driven by the development of the domestic shipping fleet and the attraction of foreign clients due to improved quality and competitive pricing, alongside global shipbuilding capacity shortages. Initially, the industry focused on building smaller vessels such as cargo ships and oil tankers due to technological and financial limitations. However, between 2006 and 2010, it aimed to enhance competitiveness by hiring foreign experts and planning the construction of larger ships. However, the industry faced some serious challenges during the 2008 global financial crisis. Vinishin became the shining star of Vietnam's shipbuilding industry through local production and foreign partnership, had been restructured as the company faced significant financial problems and unpaid debts. Despite previous challenges, a report by Insider Monkey in 2021 ranked the most powerful shipbuilders using data from the United Nations Conference of Trade and Development, UNCTAD. They showed that Vietnam emerged to become the 7th most powerful shipbuilding nation globally, surpassing Russia, France, and even Taiwan, nations who are more economically advanced and have a strong technological backing. A big reason why this is the case is because of the strong domestic players that Vietnam has. While Vinishin have been restructured due to financial difficulties in the past, new players came out to take over the advantage. Let's first talk about who Vinishin is, as the company had become the face of the country's shipbuilding industry for years. Vinishin was established in 1996 with the goal to become one of the world's leading shipbuilders. The government of Vietnam wanted Vinishin and the entire industry to succeed. What they did to ensure this to happen was to provide loans at advantageous terms, meaning Vinishin and other shipbuilding companies could borrow money at interest rates lower than the market average. Then, the government also placed an exemption on export taxes and land rent. These government policies have made Vinishin an immediate success. By the mid-2000s, Vinishin became a holding company with over 200 subsidiaries including 28 shipyards, Vinishin lines including 5 shipping companies, several engineering and construction companies, 12 joint ventures with various foreign companies, one example is Hyundai Vinishin Shipyard, and over 20 manufacturing companies. Its headquarters in Hanoi alone employed over 300 people and representative offices all across the world from the United States to Germany hoping to sell their locally made ships. This led Vinishin to have over 14.4 million DWT of order book. 70% of which comes from overseas. In order to meet these demands, in 2006 they had to raise the investment capital by over $937 million. With strong foreign customers, Venetian has hoped to lead Vietnam to become the fourth largest shipbuilding nation by 2015. But that did not happen. Venetian would eventually be embroiled in mismanagement and will have debts over $4.5 billion. It would eventually be restructured into Vietnam Shipbuilding Industry Corporation, SBIC, today, but that too would declare bankruptcy in early 2024. Despite the consistent failures of Venetian and its successor, Vietnam is still a strong shipbuilding nation. That is because Venetian is not the sole domestic shipbuilder. Vietnam's other major players include Ba Song Corporation, which builds both civilian ships and military ships. Their civilian ships range from oil ships to tugboats, gas ships, and passenger ships. Military ships, on the other hand, are missile ships, search and rescue ships, and reconnaissance ships. Ha Long Shipbuilding, another big company, has decades of experience. They were established back in 1976 on an area of 50 hectares. They were able to construct and deliver container vessels, bulk carriers, and timber vessels to a wide range of international customers ranging from Japanese to British. Their success is tied to their long-term partnership with Vingroup, a leading European shipbuilder with over 30 shipyards worldwide. On top of local builders, what makes Vietnam's shipbuilding so powerful are foreign investors. Foreign investors are big in Vietnam, and one of the largest foreign investors in the nation is none other than South Korea. South Korea has the world's largest shipbuilding company, known as Hyundai Heavy Industries, HHI. HHI has delivered more than 2,300 ships to 346 ship owners in 51 countries. Hyundai is a big investor in Vietnam. They have a joint venture called Hyundai Vietnam Shipbuilding Company. It started back in 1996 as a joint venture of Hyundai Mipo Dockyard and Vietnam's state-run shipbuilding entity. It had a small capital of $33 million. More than 2 decades later, though, Hyundai Vietnam Shipbuilding earned revenues of nearly $4 billion from 2008 to 2020, and its products were exported to over 16 countries. It was named as the leading shipbuilding factory in Vietnam with an annual capacity of 20 vessels. Their shipyard in Can Hoa province employs about 5,000 local workers and are accounting for 40% of the province's annual export value. Other than Hyundai, the Vard Vung Tau shipyard of Norwegian shipbuilder Vard is also a significant player. It is situated in the south of Vietnam and was officially opened in 2010. Since then, they have successfully delivered a diverse array of vessels, including offshore and specialized ships, fishing boats, and expedition cruise liners, all completed on schedule. Finally, a shipyard not far from Vard Vung Tau is the Prio Vietnam shipyard of Prio. It builds high added value ships at competitive prices. It has constructed and exported several vessels to East Timor, Saudi Arabian companies, among others. All of these have enabled Vietnam to become one of the largest shipbuilders globally. While they have surpassed economies larger than theirs, there is still a lot of work that needs to be done. For one thing, SBIC recently declared bankruptcy. This began way back to Venetian's restructuring due to its big debts. The restructured company, SBIC, had to carry those debts, which became a burden to the company. While the company experienced hardship, everything is still optimistic. For one thing, there are reports in 2024 indicating how Vietnam climbed to become the 5th largest shipbuilding nation globally. Indeed, despite the collapse and difficulties, the country propelled forward. But anyway, do let us know what you think down in the comment section below. Thanks for watching.